Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Idaho Business Podcast. I am here with Kayla Carter and Sarah Hibbert Johnson. These guys are with the Pocatello Chubbuck Distinguished Young Women organization, also known as the Junior Miss program. Back in 2010, they were switched to the Pocatello Chubbuck Distinguished Young Women organization. It's kind of a mouthful compared to a Junior Miss, so let it be that. Let it be known.
You like DYWO.
DYWO for short.
DYW. Okay, I like that. So
Yeah.
Okay. Before we get into introducing these fine young women here, we are sponsored by Fresh Prep. These guys are remarkable at creating great menus, fantastic food, and they can deliver it to you, or you can pick it up conveniently at several different locations from Burley all the way to Idaho Falls. If you go to the website, theidahobusinesspodcast.com, click on their logo or their name, you will get into their page and you will see a promo code called Idaho Business. And if you type that in as you sign up with them, you'll get your first meal for free and a meal to give to someone else absolutely free just by entering the promo code exclusive to the Idaho Business Podcast. So go give them a check out right now and make that happen, make your order happen. So back to Kayla and Sarah. Kayla and Sarah both were part of the Pocatello Chubbuck Distinguished Young Women, DYWO.
There you go.
And they were successful there and had very good experiences there. Kayla went on to Idaho State. They both went on to Idaho State University and also into BYU Idaho for Sarah. And now she's back. Sarah, I'm trying to get you both not confused here. Sarah is now back at Idaho State University after doing some community involvement work throughout the different counties from Idaho Falls, Rexburg area, all the way to the Pocatello. And she's getting her master's degree in public health. And she just accepted a job in finance with Idaho Central Credit Union. So
Yes, sir.
Yeah, she's all over the place with stuff. So Kayla, after successfully completing the DYWO program and moving on, she went into ISU, just like I am an alum of ISU, graduated there, and now she is in charge of all internet sales and internet marketing for Courtesy Ford and Lincoln over there in Pocatello. So welcome, guys, to the show. I hope I didn't say anything wrong. I hope I introduced you correctly, but welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. It sounded great.
Perfect. Did I say everything right, guys?
Yeah.
Let me know.
Yeah.
I think so.
It all sounded great. That's exactly
We're both
right.
busy. We're both busy women. So
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure. So this season will be your first full season of being director and co-chairman, I guess, of this organization,
Yeah.
correct?
Second full year.
Full year. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah. So we were able this last year, in fact, was it last weekend? No. Yeah. Last weekend, 2 weekends ago. Yeah. So we were able to go to Idaho Falls and celebrate a state. So our local distinguished woman, Madeline, was able to go on to state, and we went and cheered her on there just last week. So that kind of concluded this previous year's season. She did great at state. Kayla, I don't know if you want to talk about like how well she did at state, just to fill us in, but
Or always celebrate when someone from Southeast Idaho does a great job at the state level. So Madeline Smith is our current representative. She's class of 2022 DYW of Pocatello Chubbuck is her
I know
title.
Madeline. Yep.
Oh, great. Yeah, she's a great girl. She's also busy. She gives us a run for our money when it comes to being productive. Anyway, she was able to win some scholarships for both talent and scholastic. So it's
Very
a
cool.
great representation of Pocatello Chubbuck. We have talented girls here, and our scholastics are excellent. Our high schools here offer
Yeah.
super
And that was out of how many participants? Like
30.
35 state level participants. She won
Very cool.
scholarships in both of those categories. So we're really proud of her. And that's the exciting thing about like the program is that we start with a group of girls and we go through like a journey with them through, you know, the spring semester typically. We have a great, you know, local program. We get to see a showcase of all of their skills and talents, hear a little bit about their personalities, and then whoever takes the local distinguished woman goes on to state, and we get to like continue working with her. We get to do reunions, and you know, when we walk in parades or go to other community events, we get to all rejoin with all of the girls that participated. So it's been super fulfilling.
I like that. Well, that's cool. So tell us a little bit why they went from being called Junior Miss to now the Distinguished Young Women.
Yes. So a lot of people know it as Junior Miss. And so I think sometimes we're still getting used to that transition to being called DYW. It was started in 1959 in Pocatello. I think that's something that maybe a lot of people don't know, that when it was Junior Miss, it's been around for a really long time. Then we switched to the name Distinguished Young Women because they wanted it to be geared more toward business and leadership. So sounding less pageanty and more of equipping you for skills for college and career later on, developing young women who are confident in speaking in public places and can go on and hold, you know, leadership positions, become mayors, legislators, the list goes on, of course.
I like that. I'm a big fan of anything that pushes people out of their comfort zones and forces them to kind of achieve a better version of themselves.
It's so true. Amen. And the other cool thing about the transition, you know, that happens between Junior Miss and Be Your Best Self, and Distinguished Young Woman, is Be Your Best Self. So there's a program that we actually get to teach through workshops, you know, over the spring semester with our group of local girls that focuses on 5 different values that we want to instill in these young women to take with them for the rest of their lives. Mm-hmm. And that includes like being healthy, being involved, being ambitious, being responsible, and being studious. So each of those values, we have like workshops where we bring local people in and we have them talk about, you know, the importance of different parts of these like values that, you know, whether it's public speaking, whether it's your academics, like where are you going to college, what are your goals with your education, you know, what kind of service projects can we do in the community for being involved, and then being healthy. So we, there's a physical fitness portion of the program that we do, and you know, preparing the girls, not just throwing them into a crazy fitness routine, has been like a fun part of the program too. So you know, all around, the goal is that we can shape women, these young women, into women that understand that you can be your best self with the things that you have, you know, the skills that you can develop will help you be, you know, no one can be you better. That's what I always like to say to the girls is like, you know, no matter the outcome of maybe the scholarships that you are awarded, like, you know, that you have participated in the program and learned these values, and no one can be you better. So
I like that. And that in today's world, especially when there's so much negativity within social media and so much pressure on these young women and, you know, young men as well, to just look down upon themselves. I like to see organizations like this really pushing these young people to be the best part of themselves. So
absolutely, that's by far my why of doing this program. When I took it over, I felt way too young to be the chairman of something that I did less than 10 years ago. But I do feel that what I get back from it is you see these girls, like with self-expression, for example, a huge fear is getting up on that stage and answering a question. That's probably the thing that hinders people the most from doing this program. But then we see this group of girls from our community jump up there, they push themselves totally out of their comfort zones. And in return, at the end of it, you just see their confidence grow. It's like they've tackled something that they didn't think that they could do. And now all of a sudden they did it and they're like, what's next?
Oh, exactly.
It's so true.
Exactly. Well, you look at me, like look at my podcast from the episode 1 to now. I'm obviously still a goofball, but like you see, there should be some improvement that happened over these 150 episodes we've had so far. But it's true, like you have to put yourself out there, and people are gonna say and think what they're gonna think, but it doesn't matter. All it matters is what you think of yourself.
And as long as you're putting in your best, right?
Exactly.
And that's one of the other things that I, my why, is that there's this spectrum of girls that always start like, there's some girls that have known they've wanted to do the program their whole lives, and they, are very, in that kind of like what you would imagine for a Distinguished Young Women program. And then you have the spectrum of girls that, maybe some of them feel less prepared than others, but it's amazing to see them interact. So when you see the girls learn the principles of the Be Your Best Self program, they don't only like become a better person themselves, but they work together to like make each other feel better too. And and I was telling Kayla after this last year, and as we concluded our local program, I probably learned more than the girls that were involved, just because we're with them every week, a couple times a week, whether it's for a rehearsal or a workshop or some other, community event. I'm seeing them interact and build each other up, build professional and, personal relationships with each other. I think every girl that's involved comes away with a great group of friends, and that is what you need when you're going into the community after you graduate high school, having a group of well-prepared women that you can, lean on for support, call when you need a friend. And honestly, that's probably why Kayla and I are here, because we were able to forge friendships, during our year of participating in Distinguished Women in 2014, and come out of it as like people that we know we can count on each other, because we know that both of us understand the principles of Be Your Best Self. So.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Any institution or any program that gets young people away from their cell phones doing this all day long, all they're doing is this all day long, and eye contact and communication skills have gone way out the window. So this is amazing that these things still exist.
You totally see that. We obviously have all heard about, the negative impacts of Instagram and what it does to girls' confidence when they're constantly comparing themselves to each other. But what we see in this program is like so much more. It's so much beyond what you would think a teenage girl is doing. Like, they're on their phones and all of that. But we get to see that they work hours a week to become good at violin, or to become good dancers, or they're involved in track, or they're in martial arts, or whatever their chosen talent is. And then we also get to see that they're great inside of school. They focus on their grades, and they have these like passions and hopes for the future that it's magical being around a group of girls that has such like passion for life, because it just brings out all of that in you, and also in all of our guest speakers and things that come in. So
I love it.
Definitely gives us hope for the future. Let's just put it that way.
Yep, summed up well.
That's perfect. Well, let's move on a little bit into kind of our lightning round. I'll ask a few questions here. But this lightning round is sponsored by Sensations. These guys are located in Pocatello and in Twin Falls. And if you go in and mention that you heard about them on the podcast, the Idaho Business Podcast, you will get your first hand session for free. Along with, going in there, you're going to see all the other things they do well, the mani-pedis, the massages, they do everything, spray tans, everything you need to make yourself look good, especially for DYWO.
Yes.
Because they're going to want to be tan, and want their nails done. But also like physically help you feel better too, with red light therapy treatments, Cancun wellness treatments, all that. It was within Sensations, located in Twin Falls and Pocatello. Go in there today and get your free tan on us by mentioning that you heard about them on the Idaho Business Podcast. So as we're coming to a conclusion, you two, you're talking to, this audience, you're talking to probably the parents of these girls.
Yeah.
What would be your biggest piece of advice to our audience for their girls, I guess?
Well, firstly, it's encourage them to participate in Distinguished Young Women when they're juniors in high school.
Okay.
But beyond that, anything that, your girls can be involved in that is pushing them and bettering them and giving them a good network of people that will encourage them and support them, that's where it's at. That's everything.
Perfect.
It's so true. Like, look no further if you're looking for something that will, boost confidence, give you the skills that you need to, perform well professionally, interpersonally. I think for us, like, the biggest thing that parents can do for us is, tell their girls about the program, know that they can, not only participate and gain all these amazing skills and friendships, but also come out of it with money for college. That's a great, thing that can come out of this. And then, the encouraging them to participate, like Kayla said. And then also, like, we always love to hear, from the community, what kind of things we can include in the program. If you're interested in sponsorships, like, we want to give out, like, if we had our way, we would give out like millions of dollars in scholarships in Pocatello Trumpet. And all of our scholarships, most of our scholarships are coming from the community members that are, sponsoring the girls. When we do the local program, we send our girls out on, one of the things that we teach them is how to fundraise. And they get to go out and talk to local businesses, family members, those that are going to support them. And they're looking for a yes, like, hey, we want to sponsor so much money so that you can get these scholarships at the end of this program. So if you have a family that has a business or some other organization that you're looking for a good organization in the community to support, we would love to hear from you. And the types of donations don't have to necessarily be monetary. Like, we can, if you have a skill, that is a professional development skill and you'd love to come present or do workshops, like, we're always looking for volunteers to help us, conduct interviews, help the girls get feedback on, the best ways to be, prepared for an interview in front of a panel of people. Yeah. And having community involvement in that way is super, super important. And it'll make our girls feel like they're part of something so much bigger, which is what we want. Outside of just the girls that are participating, we want it to be something that, all of Pocatello can come together and celebrate these girls every year. So
I like it.
Yeah. I think definitely piggybacking on what Sarah said, she said it perfectly. Just to sum it up, the more that we do share this program and share that experience, I think the bigger and better it gets every year. And obviously that's what we want, as much community involvement as we can get. We are never going to tell a girl, no, she can't participate. We are never going to tell somebody, no, you can't volunteer for something. We'll take all the help we can get when it comes to our community being involved in such a good program.
Sure. I love it. Well, what is one question I should have asked that I didn't?
Well, we were hoping you would volunteer to maybe be a mock interview judge this upcoming year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could probably do that.
We might be giving you a call.
Heck out of them.
For sure.
Yes. Well, I guess the only thing I really have left to say is just, I want to get it out there. Any misconceptions that this is just a girly girl thing or a beauty pageant of any sort, it's not that. It's definitely tools for you to go out into college, career, whatever you choose to do after high school, and be your best self. And it's free. So it's not an expensive thing for junior girls to go out and do. We don't charge anything. They're encouraged to fundraise. That's really the only thing that is required of them as far as money goes. And even then, it's not a requirement. It's encouraged for their own growth and being able to get out there and do it. So yeah, just a couple misconceptions about the program that we want to clear up for sure.
Yeah. And then I guess my last word is just the values that this program instills in junior girls that go on and go out into the world. They are values that should belong to everybody. And like I said earlier, my little tagline is like, no one can be you better. And as you all are pursuing, different goals or in different places in your careers, business development, personal development, wherever you're at, just remember that if you're putting forth your best effort, that no one can replace you and that no one can be you better.
I love that. I love that. And coming from, a girl dad, I've got two girls that, obviously one's 5, one's 2. And right now they're just hellions, but they're beautiful angels in my eyes. But I would definitely want them to be a part of these type of organizations, because leaders are leaders in every atmosphere, what they're at. Like, doesn't matter if you're, working in the home or working in a corporate setting. Being a leader is a mindset first and foremost.
Absolutely.
And having that power and that confidence to accomplish the things you want to accomplish. So
yeah, definitely.
And that self-esteem comes with it. So perfect. Well, thank you guys for coming on the show. All you guys that are listening, get your daughters involved in this DYW. So this is something that's going to help them and then push them, and anything that's going to help them get them out of their comfort zones is going to make them better and increase their odds of being more successful just in life in general in the future. So
yes. Really quickly, can I just plug
Sure.
our website?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you are interested in more information, it's Pocatello-Chubbuck at distinguishedYW.org. You can see when we're going to start up our next program for 2023. It's the class of 2023. So it will actually be this upcoming January that we start our local program again. All of those dates will be listed there. So if you are interested, that's a good resource.
Perfect. Hey, you took the next question out of my mouth, because that was the next thing I was going to ask is where can they find you? So thank you for that.
We'll also be doing
You're fine.
doing outreach at the high schools in the region. So you can tell your girls to watch out for information just at school from their counselors, or if they want to go ask a counselor, we talk to them so they know about their program, so they can have that information directly.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, thank you. And I hope you guys have a successful year. And if you do need my help, you know where to holler.
We'll give you a ring.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And all of those that are listening, like always, stay away from those negative Nancy's. They only want to bring you misery, because misery loves company. And just go out there and dominate your week and have that attitude of gratitude. So until next time, guys, thank you, and see you later.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.